You're listening to Heritage Radio Network. HRN is food radio supported by you. Learn more at heritageradionetwork.org. This episode of Pizza Quest is brought to you by Central Milling, hand-selected grain, expertly milled for passionate bakers. Central Milling is the farmer, the miller, and the baker working together to preserve American farmland for tomorrow while providing the highest quality flour and grains for the bakers of today. Dating back over 150 years, Central Milling is built on generations of knowledge, and they know that premium flour starts at the source. Employee-owned, Central Milling works directly with their farmers to sustainably grow grains that have exceptional flavor, nutrient content, color, and baking performance, which results in one of the largest selections of premium specialty flour and grains in the country. Hand-selected for the highest baking qualities, milled, cracked, or blended slowly to minimize heat generation, then bake-tested for performance. Learn more about Central Milling and their products at centralmilling.com. Hi, I'm Peter Reinhardt. Welcome to Pizza Quest. I'm coming to you from the Atlantic City Convention Center, where we're celebrating the first day of the Pizza and Pasta and Artisan Baking Expo. We call it the Northeast because to differentiate it from the Vegas version. And I'm sitting with two of the great pizza masters of the world, two of my favorite people, Roberto Caporuscio, who most of you probably know from Keste in New York, but I know you have other places, but Keste is the one that I've been to.
Now, just Keste.
Just Keste. Okay, so
the other one is my daughter.
Keeping it focused. Oh, your daughter's got. Yeah, that's right. Your daughter Georgia, who we were supposed to have on in Vegas, and then we couldn't get her. So, but your daughter's now a major player in the pizza world as well. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And Massimiliano Saieva, who on other episodes he's been with us before, but earlier, in an earlier episode we talked with Rob Cervoni, who works with you.
Yeah, that's right.
On Roman side, you are the master of Roman pizza. You are
try.
To Americans. there's you and there's Bonci.
Yeah.
And you are, I always say you're like the two bookends of Roman style pizza, and I love your version of it.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you so much.
And you're featured in
For me, it's an
Pizza
honor.
Quest. In my book Pizza Quest,
Yeah,
we've
course.
got your beautiful double crusted
I
Roman
have it.
style. Love it. Yeah. So welcome, Massimiliano,
much.
or we often call Massimo.
Yeah, Massimo.
Massimo is like
Master.
the nickname, the short version.
Yeah.
And Roberto could be Rob, but it's Roberto.
Yeah, I know.
Does anyone ever call you anything other than Roberto?
Oh, my dad called me Robert or Robbie sometimes.
Robbie,
so,
yeah. Okay.
My age in America do Robbie, so but
yeah.
it's okay. So
People take it more seriously when it's Roberto. They don't take a Robbie as seriously as a Roberto.
yeah.
But you are really the master of what we call Neapolitan style, wood-fired Neapolitan, classic Naples style pizza in America. And I mean, Keste is one of the held up as one of the benchmark pizzerias in America for the quality of your work there.
But I was very lucky to come here in America when there was no exist. Was Neapolitan, really Neapolitan pizza.
Yeah.
So it was easy for me to promote in that way and bring very many master from Naples here and learn. So keep on learning from them. And plus, it was the moment to get Neapolitan pizza. Everybody wants to know Neapolitan pizza.
It's kind of new. When I first met you, you were in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Right? That's where I first met you, like over 20 years ago, I think, at one of these pizza events. And somebody said, keep your eye on this guy. He's you got to know this guy. His pizzas are great. The next thing I know, you're opening in New York City in Greenwich Village, diagonally across from the famous John's Pizzeria.
Yes.
So two great pizzerias, a catty corner from each other, and then there's Joe's right around the corner. So you're in like one of the pizza epicenters of the world. But then Keste was like bringing a different kind of pizza to that neighborhood than anyone else was doing.
That was really incredible. But I need to tell myself I was super lucky to be in Pittsburgh first, because Pittsburgh was a city where I can make a mistake, learn something about America.
Yeah, in New York, you don't get as much forgiveness.
No, Pittsburgh was very nice. In fact, my second house for me home. It's
Still.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
7 years there, many friends. I was just there last week for Clemente Museum, do the charity for them. If I have a chance, I go there,
Yes.
helps them all
Well,
the time.
Pittsburgh has really come up in the culinary world as for reputation. They've always had good food, but I think it's more respected now and appreciated by many people.
Yes, and a lot of big Italian community.
Oh, that would explain it.
That explain why.
When you were in Pittsburgh, were you making wood fire pizza then and Neapolitan style?
Yes, there was another pizzeria, Pizzaiolo, it's still there. It was the best. And now it's Mercurio, there's many other ones. At the time it was Pizzaiolo, I opened Regina Margherita and Roberto. And there was, I can't believe that. After 6 months, we are the best casual restaurant in the city. But we make pizza in the plastic dish. But because it was something new and different.
And good.
And good. Thank God, yes.
They were impressed, it sounds
They
like.
was very impressed with something completely different. A small town outside Pittsburgh, Bellevue. That helped us today learn what's going on. And I told you, I would never make in the same way in New York if I come directly from you.
I see, yeah.
Because New York is really, don't make, if you make mistake in New York, you go back home immediately. Don't try it.
You have to go back with your head between your legs.
Yes. So
But-
Pittsburgh is giving me a lot.
So you were ready. By the time you got to New York, you were ready for the big stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the plus was before that, I was a little bit time in New Jersey, and I start travel with the flour and for myself, training people around the country. That was really big help. When you teach somebody,
Yes.
you learn something for them.
That's true, and that was a great opportunity. So people were coming to you to learn how to do it, and then you were making you better too.
Yes.
We'll come back to this in a second, but let me jump over to Massimo for a second. So when I first met you, it was right here in Atlantic City.
Yep.
About maybe 5 years ago. You were introducing the Roman Pizza Academy.
I think perhaps more than that.
Maybe maybe more?
Yeah,
but,
perhaps like 7-8 years ago.
But what I remember
before
of
was
that
Vegas.
was like, wow, I've never seen this pizza before. I got to learn more about this. It was so new and for me refreshing to have something different and from everybody else's and that tasted so good.
Very nice product. I mean, I was born eating, Roman pizza when I was a child in Italy, of course. And for me today, it's an honor to represent this pizza all around the world. So I can say that my students are from everywhere. So
Yes.
Australia, Asia, Latin America, USA, of course, is my second house. I come in US like 2 times per month, and it's always, in New York, I teach with the Fiero Group, and I teach in Minneola with Rob Cervoni, and then I collaborate with Orlando Food, representing the pizza with the Caputo flour.
Yes.
So for me, it's a beautiful honor. I'm working in Italy too with Caputo, showing what we can do with just regular 00 flour, okay? And it's nice. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and when I first met you, you were using a different flour.
Yeah, that's true. So the thing is that, it's white art, okay? So for me, flour is flour. So it's more about family. So it's all about the trust that you have with the family that is making the product. So I learned a lot during the past 12 years, 15 years here in USA. And today I can say that I picked the best family that we can have here in the US. And after COVID, especially after COVID, they opened the door to me, and was something special, So again, I'm very lucky. And teaching, how Roberto said, is the best that you can do. I know that people, especially my team, which is the World Pizza Champion team, it's all about competing, competition and everything.
Yeah.
For me, it's more about sharing and to learn always from other and to give everything you have. So I travel the world. I speak Spanish. Thanks God, I'm very lucky. I speak English. I speak Italian. I give classes in Portuguese to Chinese, and to Russian guys with podcasts, and show online classes too. So it's incredible.
It's
incredible.
amazing that you have that good language skill, because
Yes.
I could never do that. I can't learn languages quickly, but you
But
have
you have to.
proficiency for it.
You have to, because it's weird, It's not about teaching just in one place, just one city or one state. No, you have to teach everywhere. So I start with online classes with COVID,
Yeah.
and then recorded classes too. and it changed everything.
Yeah.
It's much easier. Of course, it's more difficult for you because you have to know all the problems that your students can have after the class.
Right.
So you have to fix the problem before that they're going to have the problems, you know?
Or else you
just-
find out later that
Yeah, absolutely. So before we start the class, I just check the oven. Many times it's a Russian or Chinese or Japanese or I don't know what kind of oven is that. So I just check the way work the heat, and then the mixer, the way is the mixer, planetary or just
Yes,
regular mixer,
yes.
how speed, I mean, how many revolution per minute we have, how many speed do we have, the way turn the machine, the mixer. So I understand how to make the dough because we make 80%, at least 80% hydro,
Yes.
and we start with a class, you know?
Yeah.
And we cannot lose time. When I bake a pizza online, I have like 5 minutes
Yeah.
to understand how is the flow of the heat. And then we bake and we give the product. And that's cool.
Well, yeah. So you learn. The more you do it, the more you realize I gotta check. I gotta be ready. I gotta have everything checked out. Make sure
You have to.
the ovens are working. If I set it at one temperature, it better be at that temperature.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because people think it's all about the dough. You know, I want to know your dough.
Yeah.
What's the hydro?
Well, it is because it's a unique dough, but
Yeah, I know.
But there's more to it
It's
than
a,
that.
it's a different dough. It's a different dough. I started doing my dough like 14 years ago. And it's simple. It's very easy to make my dough. I use a lot of ice, okay? So the ice work that I use warm water.
warm water.
Warm water.
Warm water, but ice.
Yes.
That's interesting.
That's crazy. I know.
Fire and ice.
That's totally crazy. So 70% of the ice melts, but 30% of the ice is like crystal. And the crystal of ice keep oxygen inside. And then when you
Ah.
make the dough explode in your dough
Wow.
and make totally different your
That
product.
is a unique technique. You ever hear of anything like that, Roberto?
Massimo is the expert for that. I think now
It's not a
so-
common Naples technique, is it?
No, absolutely no. So we
Interesting.
use it now because we do some Roman. Because I don't know if you know, me and Massimo have the same city.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the 20 minutes apart. 1 hour south of Rome, 1 hour north of North Naples. Culture, we are the same city.
That's
And we
interesting,
are
yeah.
more. My mom was baking pizza all the time in the oven, but was make dough from bread. So it was
Yeah.
from different. We grew up more the Neapolitan, more the Roman style, what we are.
That's interesting.
So I've never been interested. When I decided to become pizza maker when I was 38,
Yeah.
left the farm and went to school in Naples, was totally different though.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
totally
than what-
different.
yeah, than what you grew up
Now we use it because we do bigger for the Romans for the Neapolitan style.
Really?
Because we do Roman style too in our place.
Oh.
So we want to use the same base for my employee. Don't be it's crazy. So the base it's bigger for both way. They just change oil.
So did I understand you're making the Roman style at Keste?
Yes.
No, interesting. So in other words, you're still learning too.
Every day. I'm not the best. I don't want to be the best. I
Just
want to learn every
you wanna
day.
keep learning though. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
That's something make me
Because it's been a few
alive.
years since I've been up in the city, and so it's been a while since I've been to Keste. So I can't wait to come back and see, some of the new things that you're doing there. But so you're learning from. Well, you already grew up with that style, but are you learning techniques from Massimo and?
Well, when we are together, we learn each other from
Yeah, you teach each other.
each other. They have some idea.
Can you talk a little bit about why you're here? You're working together here at the expo. Why are you here, and who are you working with?
We are here for help. We work with Fiero.
Fiero.
It's I have a
Oven company?
oven company get from Italy. They are
Yes.
different style oven, and of course I like. I think a good pizza maker can learn to bake in different oven. I went in these years for do master class in Peru. They don't have an oven where I want.
Yeah,
I thought, what's
yeah.
going on? They don't have the same flour. I bring something with me, make it, but the oven is a big problem. Well, you need to adapt yourself to that. I think the fact that we are do that, Neapolitan pizza and I do bigger, yes, because it makes simple for my employee. So I take some, we use ice, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just learned today. Something.
That's a really cool technique.
Yeah.
Is Fiera, they make both wood fire and conventional electric and gas ovens?
Yeah, so they have a gas, they have a 4-line now.
So it's like they have classic like pizza deck ovens as well as wood fire style.
They have one from Naples, Caporuscio. They have a Pavesi from North Italy, from Emilia, Modena, and they have a Castelli from Roma style pizza, and they will bring now Italforni. It's another can do multiple style pizza. So
really, so here
it's all Italian.
So I've been stuck here at the table interviewing people. I haven't had a chance to go over to your to your area to watch you work. Are you all working in the same oven, or are you working in two different ovens?
Two different ovens. But I help them on their American or New York style pizza. So I bake an electric oven too. But I think it's learned. I think it's when you do that. I think it's when you go around teaching people.
Yeah.
Do you have a different situation, different temperature? Well, it's impossible to ask you, what is the recipe? Don't exist perfect recipe for the pizza.
Yeah.
You need to adapt it to your place.
Yes.
To your restaurant.
Yeah.
Your restaurant. I was in one restaurant in Thomas River one time. In winter time, they leave the door open. But we're in trouble here. We never raised the door because it's too cold.
That's right.
It was colder than inside the cooler.
Yeah.
So, or you go, I don't know, in Florida, that's totally different. Or Texas, or Albuquerque in New Mexico. Your temperature gets outrageous.
And Massimo, you spent a lot of time in Florida where you had your school there, the pizza
Yeah.
and that's a warm place to make that. Did you use ice? You had to use ice.
Actually, that was the first reason I started using ice. Okay.
You taught yourself that method?
That's right. I spent like 4 years working on that technique. So I like that. I spent all those years working and perfecting that technique of the ice. And today it works a lot. I mean, I can travel the world. Doesn't matter where I make pizza, and works exactly in the same way. So it's perfect. It's a nice way.
And you mentioned earlier that the Roman dough that you're working with is typically 80%, but it could be up to 90%.
Yeah, absolutely right.
When I first met you, you were mostly at 90%.
No,
Some of the early videos that I saw on the YouTube, I think that dough was almost like fluid. It was
looks like 100% water, but it's not. It's just 80%. So where is the trick? It's just controlling time and temperature. That for me is the real formula that you need to have. Because without that, it's impossible, Then depending the flour that you are using, depending actually the season that you are using the flour can change the formula, the way you work with the mixer, the way you ferment the dough, the way you make dough balls change too. So there are too many factors that you have to control if you want always the same product.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem,
Right, but time, temperature are key.
Absolutely
and plus
right.
understanding your ingredients.
Absolutely
So
right.
while you're here at the show, you're both here at the show. Are you doing just demonstrations? Are you teaching? You doing a class or doing anything
We
like
give
that?
demo. We just give
Just
demo.
demos?
Yeah, me with the Roma style, Roberto with Neapolitan pizza, and again, for me, it's always an honor to be with Roberto because for me, it's like a brother.
Yeah.
It's the same city, and I love Roberto.
It's nice that you're both from the same town.
Yeah.
Are you? Are you using the same flour for your dough and for each of your doughs?
No, in this moment, 2 years ago when I started that, I changed completely. I try to do something different all the time for myself. I use the Nuvola.
Nuvola. Wow, that's a new flour. Yeah, you switched.
And Nuvola because special for the bigger. And I use the Type 1. At the point for Type 1 is all flour, something between 00 and integral. So that will give you something that Nordic. I like the kind of really rustic stuff on the dough. To give it to me something different. I want.
So, and you're using that for your Neapolitan pizzas?
Yes.
Which is it? Because that means you're breaking the rules. You're breaking the Naples rules.
It's okay. Who's tell you in 800 what kind of flour they use it?
Yeah, I know.
The kind of flour they use it was Type 1.
And well, those rules weren't even
existed.
written until like 1987 or something.
Yeah, was no existed 00. 00 come on 1940.
Yeah.
Before was the 0, 1. So they was usually different. The good pizza maker, when I started learning the process, it was not the pizza maker make good pizza. It was the pizza maker mix the right flour, the right wheat. Because they was do the Manitoba at the time because it come from America, and their regular flour, the very low protein flour. They change every season.
Yes.
The good pizza maker was the one
had
that
to adjust.
change and have the right that time. Now the flour is all the same. So for me, I want to be better.
Yeah.
For be better, I want to try to do something new. For a little bit time, for 2 years, it was just type 1. And after I see better, because I was doing the Roman,
Yeah.
I do, okay, let's do bigger. I use it for both way. So the base is the same. I just do different machine dough and different stuff.
So you're using one flour for the Nuvola
Nuvola for the bigger.
for the biga. Now, so what does the biga? The biga is a pre-fermented dough. What does it
Yes.
add to the quality of your dough, and does it affect the length of the fermentation?
I think that's giving me the opportunity to have a longer fermentation and have a lightness in the dough, more acidity. I don't use I don't like use mother yeast. You know, the crescito, what I call,
Yeah.
because that is no control.
Like
I have a
sourdough,
control
yeah.
of my dough, the
Yeah,
sourdough.
yeah.
I have a control of my dough, but I have the same effect.
Yes.
And
Yes.
was the maximum before, people tell, what's your gradation? My gradation is not very high, but look like it's very high because after 4-day fermentation, 4 different steps,
Yeah.
it look like it's 80% iteration. One is 68.
So your dough is also a 4-day. Is it you're saying?
Yeah,
yours is
you have
4-day
4 days fermentation.
Wow. So you start with a piece of aged biga, and so it's already an aged dough when you mix it, and then you give it 4 days.
We do what we do now. We have the big I make today,
Yeah.
and leave outside for 24 hours. The next morning they mix. They close the big on the type 1, and the rest the water and the rest the
And
salt.
the salt.
Let in bulk. We put inside the cooler
Yeah.
for 24 hours. Let them mature together.
Yes.
The next day morning, we make the dough balls. After 1 hour, put in the cooler. I use the next day.
Another day.
I can use it the same day, but for me, it's very important as business to have an extra dough inside
Yes.
the cooler.
So
for what reason?
So it's going to be that extra day in the refrigerator. It could still work the day before. Is there much difference in the final result?
No, I think it's not much different. The only thing I have insurance in my
Yes.
business.
Yeah.
Because I have something happen on the dough, I forget the happen.
Yeah.
Forget to put the salt, forget
Yeah.
to put the yeast, the cooler is broken. I have the rest of the dough. I can take out a
Yeah, backup, yeah.
super busy and never be out the door, my place. Can be. I would be crazy to
Yeah,
do that.
yeah.
For me, it's important to have everybody come have a chance to come.
How many pizzas do you make a day at Casti?
Over 600.
600 pizzas
Because
a day.
we do frozen too.
Oh, but so those are ones you're making and freezing and putting aside for
But
a separate
it's the same
business.
process.
But you're sending them out through Goldbelly or something like
No,
that.
I have my own
Oh,
company.
your own distribution.
Yeah.
Wow, very cool.
Because and then we do some hotels, restaurant too.
Well, but just for the for the pizzas that people eat there.
Around 350.
So before you got into frozen, you were still doing about 350 a day, which
Yeah.
is still a lot of pizzas. A lot of pizzas.
But in Don Antonio, when we are Don Antonio, sometimes we touch 500.
Really, is that Don Antonio still going?
Yeah,
It is.
very
That's
good.
where your daughter is.
My daughter
Don
is
Antonio-
there.
That's the other pizza. I
She's
remember
much better than me. So
I
it's
remember
good.
when you opened that though. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about who Don Antonio is?
Don Antonio was one of my teacher, and there was Antonio Starida, and together we put together itself. I was very lucky. Because they was come here, and I was not in Italy. They would be very open with me because normally the old pizza maker they're very tight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But because I was in America, they was we became very good friends. We decided to open together. After 3 years, Antonio Starida said, I don't want to come in America anymore.
Oh.
So we keep the name because Don Antonio
But he was there at the beginning and helped launch it.
Yes.
And he's famous. Staritas is his last name, right?
Yes.
And so that was a big deal when you brought him here to America.
Yes.
And partnered with him. And
because it was the way they bring the fried dough.
Fried
the
dough is a
pizza,
big thing.
The Montanara.
Yeah.
And it became with us. And I think it was a benefit for both us because it was
Yeah.
Antonio was very well known in America. I was pretty okay
Yeah.
at that time. And I think it was fourth us would be much better. And, sometime wedding is finished,
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how we finish. But he's the most amazing, one of my master teachers. I have many, many people in Nepal teach me.
Yeah.
It give me some difference. So
Well, but he couldn't take it here in the States. He had to go back. He didn't like it here. Huh?
he was coming back. I was here all the time.
Yeah.
He was just there.
New York is not for
every
everybody.
3 months. Every 3 months was come and.
Well, you never stay, Massimo. You never stay any one place long enough to get tired of it, though. It's all new.
For me, it's I was travel a lot, like Massimo. I do a lot less now. I spend more of my time in my pizzeria. I wake up there, I go there, look like going home for me.
So do you have a good team at the pizzeria that you don't have to be there to make every pizza then?
No, it's most of my people work there is 14 years with me.
So they're veterans, yeah.
Yeah. And as business now, 34% as business is gluten free.
No, really, that much?
Yes.
Wow, are you using that
pure gluten?
Caputo, gluten-free flour?
We start.
Okay, we have a little good time. So you're making so that's growing, the gluten-free
Very
category.
fast.
Wow.
We open and go 50% in 2 years.
Wow, that's very interesting. Other people have been on the show have talked about gluten-free being maybe 20% or small percentage of their business. But it sounds like for you, it's a big part.
No,
now,
I believe.
Do you have an separate oven for that?
Yeah, separate oven, separate kitchen, separate dough machine.
Wow. So you're really trying to keep it as clean as possible.
Well, we are do the bread we do for the salad gluten free. All the fried stuff we do the appetizer is gluten free.
That's
the way it's not mixed.
It's really
the
good to know.
tiramisu, for example, is gluten free, and then we have some pasta now. It's lasagna gluten free.
Really doing pasta too now. Oh, very nice.
Since I have one place, I want to travel a lot, to stay in one place. And I was lucky my sister, it's a pastry chef in Latina, started come aboard with me. She's much better than me in that way. So she started helping me in the kitchen a lot on new stuff.
Holy cow. Man, you got the whole family involved. You got your daughter doing one. But you and your daughter work in separate locations now, so you get along really good, right?
Very good. So she makes me very happy just to become a grandfather. So
that's right.
For the first time.
Yeah, she's had a baby recently, and well, it's really wonderful. Congratulations on all that. And but let me before I forget, you said something that I wanted to ask Massimo about. Do you use a biga in your dough?
No, I don't.
And you don't feel like you need it to make your dough work?
No, actually not, because pizza romana is all about a very light, crispy dough.
Light and crispy, yeah.
Yeah, the problem with biga, with pizza romana, is they make too dry the product. And that's a big problem for us.
Interesting.
Okay? It works for direct baking, for example. If you bake a pala, it can work. It's different for the tray. Tray has to be very light. The crispiness has to melt in the mouth. So it's a different bite.
So when you say pala, you just for the listeners to understand, you meant directly on the hearth,
Directly on the
as opposed
on
to
the
like
stone.
taglio in a pan. Is that what it's called when it's in a pan?
Yeah,
or?
they call it taglio, but the reality taglio is just by the cut.
Oh,
so
by the
they
cut,
sell the slice. So that's why it's taglio.
That's what. Okay, but
Now, today I'm trying to change the way to sell the pizza romana. So the thing is that during my class, I try to teach a different way. So to give to my students different formats of pizza romana, because I think that there is a lot of work behind this product, and it's not fair to sell the product by the slice. Okay, so I had the opportunity to work and teach to VIP, guys of big company, and they teach me how to work with numbers. So it's different if you sell the pizza by the slice than individual pizza.
Yeah.
So why don't you sell the Roman pizza like an individual pizza, giving a different format? Can be square.
Yeah.
For example, a 20 by 20 centimeter. So you can make 6 square of pizza with a tray. Okay. So in that way, people can understand better the product. Because we talk about fermented dough for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, doesn't matter. And they're premium ingredients, and we have more ingredients than the Neapolitan pizza too.
Yeah.
So in my place, for example, nobody knows that I have a pizza place in Madrid. I have a different format that works with cocktails and pizza romana. It's a very fancy place. It's very cool. And people make a trip to Italy but in a different way because they have a different bite, using ingredients like tete moi, like Parmigiano Reggiano, cream with white truffle, and all the other stuff. So we create something unique with a very light, crispy dough. So that's the way I'm doing business today, teaching my students how to make a nice business. Don't follow the others. So that's, because again, it's difficult in Italy to go out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you travel a lot and you have the opportunity to see the way they are doing in the other country is done. Now I'm trying to do the same in Italy, and in Europe. In Europe it's working already. But I did that in Brazil, I did that in Chile, I did that in Peru, I did that in USA, I did that everywhere in the world. It works much better.
When you were in Miami, you also, in addition to your school, you had a restaurant there.
And
Do you
that
have
was
a restaurant anywhere now?
Yeah, I had in Madrid.
In Madrid, you have a
Yeah.
restaurant. Okay.
The problem in Miami was that I was selling a lot of, I was making more or less 130, 140 trays per day. I used to receive orders from All Food, okay? So Massimo, please, we need 100 trays. You know what? That was just like $5,000 at that time because it was many years ago, which is nothing. Because if you sell the same pizza individual pizza, not by the slice, you can make $10, $11, $12,000 with the same quantity of dough.
Yeah.
So again, it's all about the format. It's all about numbers. You have to be first a manager and then a pizza maker, especially today.
Yeah.
It's not just about pizza.
Yes.
There are too many factors.
You got how to know the numbers, know how to run a business.
Yeah, it's true. And especially today, so people come to me, I have passion, so I want to start a pizza business. I say, okay, be careful. Before you start a business, you have to know about numbers.
Yeah.
Right? So let's study the P&L, profit and loss, how to build a menu,
So
how
you're
to make.
teaching them all that too.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to understand what you have in front of you.
Yeah.
And then people say, yeah, the flour is very expensive. Expensive? I mean, you can make $3,000 with a bag of flour.
Yeah.
So it's not about
That's not
the
the
price.
That's not the problem.
It's about the way you make those numbers.
Yeah.
So that's tricky.
That's interesting. So there's been a lot since I first met you. A lot of.
I change a lot.
You've grown and changed. and
I
added
change a
things.
lot. I change a lot.
Roberto, when did you have any problem with that business side, the numbers side of the business for you? I mean, you came in Pittsburgh, you were already learning the business, the pizza business, but in running your pizza restaurants now, is that an issue for you, or does that come naturally
I
to you?
think it's everybody's supposed to be their own job. My job was for me to make pizza, so my daughter is much better than me in accounting. So I try to find a way to do that. I don't like to be accounting myself. I like to be more in the creative part, the kind of stuff. But this most of the time what the reason don't do well, because a good chef. Because a good chef is not meaning it's good accounting, a good number, and that is a big problem.
But if you're starting a new restaurant and you want to make pizza, and you don't have the daughter who can do the numbers, where you have to have somebody who knows the numbers.
Oh yes, so now my daughter anymore. I needed to have somebody to do that for me learn. I need to force myself to do that.
Yeah.
But I will think it changed a lot. I think the last 5 years, especially in New York City, but all in America, because the problem is the employee, the cost of the employee, it's very high. And so when I was coming to Pittsburgh, my first pizzeria was on counter service. You come, you order the pizza, you have one pizza, we make it, we deliver it to you. I like the way I am now, but if I open another pizzeria, that's one reason we started Roman pizza too. It was a project, and they forced. I tell you know what, I'll do it. We have the oven inside. It was already there. Let's do it. And we use it now. It's beautiful because it travel very well for delivery. We just use it for delivery. We don't serve inside the place.
I see.
But if I do another pizzeria now, I will do look like counter service, because I think at least it's hard to find employee. It's hard to training. It's hard to kind of stuff. I think it's a much more easy. They do that way. There are many pizzerias that do this one. Pancha in Minneapolis, very famous for that. So.
Yeah. Well, but it's great that you guys are friends, know each other, and can continue to keep teaching each other, because it sounds like you're still always growing. You're learning new things all the time, and which is important, I think, for the listeners to know, especially those in the pizza business, is that the learning never ends. I always say the quest never ends for the perfect pizza.
I mean really well when I tell I'm not the best. I want to be the best. I make sometimes good pizza because I want to learn better every day. I think that's for me. It's my part. In the end of the story, we make pizza. We don't save a life. We are not the president of the United States. We make sometimes good pizza.
Yeah, let's not get too crazy about it, but take the craft seriously, which is what it sounds like. I hear
It's
you guys
very
do.
important.
So I
will not stay here because I was no the pizza. They call me many name, a crazy name, because soup Nazi. They call me the pizza Nazi because I will not change the pizza. In 6 pizza in the menu, I said, you don't want this pizza, go to Pizza Hut. Because for me, that is very important. Why I want to do is Neapolitan. When they come to me, sometimes they tell, "Is Neapolitan festival?" Stop. Or it's Neapolitan pizza, or it's other things. You don't know Neapolitan pizza, you call Neapolitan pizza, it's fine. But it's not Neapolitan pizza. It's other things. Nothing wrong. It can be wonderful, good, but it's another thing. Neapolitan pizza has a characteristic that you need to do it for do that. Neapolitan pizza.
Interesting. Well, I just want to thank both of you for bringing your craft, your talents, skills, to America, for introducing people to new ways of knowing that pizza is not just one thing; it's many things, and there's many ways to make it great. And just to hear you guys say today, since we've talked before in the past, and you had a way of doing it, and now I'm hearing you say, "But I've learned some other new ways, and I'm not stuck. I'm not just doing it only one way." This is I'm still learning too. I think that's the most important takeaway from today's conversation for me. Because it gives me encouragement to not only continue my own growth, but also to realize, hey, maybe I wasn't wrong about doing it this way.
It's true.
I think normal one pizza maker open one pizzeria too. Normally, in life, we happen to us to open 100 pizzeria for other people.
Yes,
that means as knowledge is as vision, become totally different.
Well, just think back to when we first met 20 years ago, and there were only a handful of really great pizzerias, and there were always a lot of them. But since then, in this 20 years, how many more that there are? Many more doing really good work, not just your neighborhood college pizza place, but really good work. The whole level, the benchmark of what pizza is and what Americans expect now from pizza is at a much higher level than it.
I think another thing today, it's very involved a lot. I don't want to know. I'm 63 years old. I was thinking is marketing and social media. It's really important.
Yes.
And make you go in different way.
Yeah, that's true.
That you can. I tell New York, everywhere, you need to have your presence there, because if you don't do, other people do it.
That's
they
right.
Take you away.
Yeah. Well, that's you have to keep up with those kinds of things.
It's good and it's not good.
And you were always good from the beginning. Since I first met you, you were always good on social media, at least on YouTube. Your impact on YouTube.
You know what? Before I mean, I wasn't like posting video or that stuff. But then a company told me that a good pizza maker has to have a lot of followers. I say, why?
Yeah, right.
That's not pizza, That's a different job.
That's a different thing.
For me, pizza is not talking about pizza, is baking pizza, It's not posting a photo or a video, it's making the pizza. And when people try the pizza, say, wow, that's a great product. So for me, it was different. So I start, posting my video, and I made like 85,000 followers in just 1 year, perhaps. Just posting few. I make a video and 3 million people watch the video. That's crazy,
It's crazy.
So yes, today is all about marketing and media and promoter and influencer, and everything is changing. But I think that we need to talk less and make more, especially at the pizza expos in Italy, in Europe, and in USA. So no more jacket, t-shirts, and 30 t-shirts
Really?
with tomato and flour. So again, I am an artisan, and it's not about my job. It's about my students.
Okay.
Work.
Well, that's
So what they can reach with their new business. And I'm pretty proud today that all my students are doing great. and not
Well,
just
that's it.
because they win
That-
title,
yeah.
but because the business is.
Your product is not pizza; it's your students. It's your product.
Yeah,
now.
that's true.
Well, again, for both of you, thank you so much for everything that you've done.
Thank you for
And,
real. It's a great honor.
I'm going to try to, at some point during this show, get over to watch you
Please.
work and taste your pizzas again.
Please.
Because it's one of the things I always look forward to coming to the show is tasting your pizzas because they're so good.
Thank you so
So
much, Peter.
we'll see you again. Thank you. And thank all of you who are listening to Pizza Quest for joining us. Join us again next week for our new episode. But enjoy today's episode with Massimiliano Saieva and Roberto Caporuscio, two
Bye.
pizza masters who have changed the perception and landscape of pizza in America.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Pizza Quest is powered by Simplecast. Thanks for listening to Heritage Radio Network, food radio supported by you. Keep in touch at heritageradionetwork.org/subscribe.